your rich chocolate ale, your litmus of breath.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. Hello. Hi, Phyllis. I love the hum of good conversation, and that was exactly what we were going for this afternoon. So I hate to interrupt, and I hope you will all make a mental note or write it down where you were, so that after our meeting you can pick right up and continue. Thank you all so much for being here, and I can't help but just at least, I know you've looked, but you have to look again, the backdrop behind us here is just, we're in a pretty exquisite, magical Berkshire's place. So thank you so much for all of you to be here today. I call this the quintessential New England Fall Foliage Day. We know that Saturdays are sacred to us all, and that you've had to carve out time to be here. So it means a lot. We need to come together, share good food, and share community. It's a tradition every month at our board meetings to kick off with a verse or a quote to inspire us. And as I was planning for today, I explored many options, but I kept coming back to our ends, or our core values. And I was thinking that this is the inspiration that serves to guide our board, our general manager, and her amazing team. And it should serve as our inspiration for this afternoon. Our ends are as follows. The Berkshire Food Co-op is the center of a flourishing community that cultivates generosity, cooperation, and care for our environment. Invigorates the local economy through equitable relationships and support of the cooperative movement. Engages our greater community through education and outreach. And it's the trusted source of healthful food for all. And quite frankly, I think we do much more, all of us. Through my work this past year, I'm proud to say that we have stayed true to these ends, and that the goals for the future, which you will hear all about, adhere to this framework as well. It's so hard to believe that we gathered here just 1 year ago. Time seems to have just whooshed right by. I was a candidate for a board position last October, and I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity to serve you, our owners, as president of the board, and to support the co-op and co-op community as much as possible. Oh, what a year. What a board. And what a co-op. Some of you in this tent have heard this before, and perhaps more than once, but it bears repeating. I joined the co-op as an owner not long after we moved here almost 12 years ago. I love to grocery shop. We strive to have a healthy lifestyle, seek organic, high-quality foods, and we have a gluten-free home. So it's a no-brainer, of course, we need to be a part of this. But it wasn't until I was on the board that I learned the true importance of this place. It's not just as a grocery store or a health food store, but as a community space, a place to call home for many, a safe place, a place to dine on your own and enjoy the quiet, do some remote work, meet a friend, be alone but surrounded by your community. It was so much more than a store. My favorite volunteer job is bagging during Owner Appreciation or Owner Celebration Week, which, by the way, starts tomorrow. I see you all mouthing that. Good. It's a great way to meet owners as a bagger and shoppers, and also a great way to learn about new products, be gifted a cooking tip or a recipe, and to get to know the staff. This group of people, stocking shelves, checking you out, answering questions, preparing food, making your smoothie, stacking your local apples is remarkable. They know your name. They seem to have a unique passion for their job and watch out for each other. They care and they take pride in their work. They will tell you this is their second family. They will tell you that this is the best job they have ever had because they are respected and respect each other. They will tell you that they have been through rough times, but working at the co-op saved them. They will take you over to brag about the new display cases, show you a product locally, responsibly, and sustainably sourced that is flying off the shelves. And they will tell you about connecting with local farmers and forging those relationships. This is no grocery store. We are all part owners in something much greater. We are supporting and working together to build a better community for everyone. Your board of directors is exceptional as well. When duty called, this board came together and gave so much of their time, bringing their wisdom, patience, thoughtful and passionate engagement to the table, keeping you, our owners, in mind as we worked. I am so proud to be a part of this team. I hope you are getting to know some of the board and some of the store managers at your tables. But I would like to introduce the full board to you now. Would you please stand as called? Jake Levine, Levin. Our Vice President, Anna Houston. Our Treasurer, Nancy Rogers. Nikki Kameyer is actually a board member who's seeking re-election for a second term and has served our board well, but he has woken up without a voice and a cough, and you know the situation we're all in, and opted to stay home to keep us and him all safe. He's sorry not to be here. Dan Studwell and Kitty Keeper. I also would like to call attention and a big thank you to Trish Mead. Trish was the one to reach out when I presented my application for the board and called to meet, because we interview people, to talk about their interest in becoming a board member, and she was awesome. And she has given so much to this board. She is thoughtful and very much engaged, and when there's conversations and we're called together with some tough decisions, she quietly listens and then steps right up and shares her thoughts, and they have been incredibly valuable. We thank you. We will miss you. And last but not least, a very important part of our board is our administrator. Robin Riley, who I'm going to put on the spot to just stand or raise her hand. We could not operate without Robin. I could not operate without Robin. She keeps us on task. She keeps our policy governance right in order, right on time. She nudges, and she does it with tremendous kindness, passion, and care. And for that, I am incredibly grateful. I forgot to mention earlier, so I'm just backing up for 1 second because I think it's really important, and this is part of the passion of our staff. But it's great when they can't wait to see you in the store and come up to tell you that they have just won first place because of the blueberry display in produce. And that's not just to clap because they won. it's because there's a passion there and there's such a pride behind what is going on in each and every department. And being able to observe that from this new perspective for me has been amazing, and I hope you all feel this excitement too when you shop in the store. In February, we were tasked to find a new general manager. We did our due diligence, working as a strong team, incredibly fortunate to find talent and experience right here, proud to be hiring from within. Jessica Bosworth was our #1 choice and was already beginning to step into the GM shoes with grace. One of the perks of my role is to have had the honor to gather the staff together in the back room of the store to announce and introduce our new general manager. There were cheers and tears of joy. It was so moving, and the response was so inspiringly clear. We had made the right decision. I would like to ask Jessica to come and do the fun part and let you know what's going on here, a little bit about her journey, and a lot about her vision. Jessica.
Hi everybody, thank you Phyllis. Brought some tears to my eyes. I actually remember that day very well, and I'll try not to tear up today speaking to you all, but I do feel incredible passion, a deep sense of commitment to this place and to the team, and so just want to thank you again, and here we go. So. First, I want to welcome you all to your annual meeting today, and I really do thank you for your commitment to being here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. And if I get too far away from the microphone, please let me know, so I tend to move around when I talk. We really do genuinely appreciate your attendance, and it's our hope that you'll leave today having gotten to know better the members of our board, our managers, and your fellow owners. We hope that we will strengthen the democratic and cooperative function of our co-op through these meetings, and that you will walk away having learned more about what's happening behind the scenes. We also do hope that you enjoy the locally sourced food and gifts and treats that we have in store for you today. Before I go on, I would just like to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to Jesse and Deborah, who made this event happen today. I don't know where they are. Jesse and Deborah, if you're around. There's Jesse in the back and Deborah in there. This event takes months and months to plan, and these two women have really put a lot of their heart and soul into this, so I do want to make sure that they're recognized for that. And Bradley, who had to do some last minute running around this morning, he has our screen up here ready for us. He's making sure all of our AV and tech needs are met, so I want to call out these people. And also we have Janelle and Rusty, who assisted with setting up yesterday afternoon, and today Haley, Anna S., Amanda, Dion, Mark H., and Ethan are taking care of details throughout today as well. So I really want to just appreciate if as many of you may know, I celebrated 4 years with the co-op in May, and now I've been 7 months in my current role. I have to say that out of all the years of my working life, this last one has certainly been the most intense, but also the most rewarding. I assumed responsibility unofficially in January, and we've really been moving things forward ever since. The most noticeable shift is the level of morale amongst our staff. It's the highest in co-op history, and I'm certain that you can feel the positivity when you come into our store. Yeah. Let me find where I am. Yes, staff retention has been steadily improving. We've increased our minimum wage to $16 an hour, and we've reestablished the Employee Assistance Program, which is designed to support complete employee wellness. We also hope to offer a more robust 401k arrangement in the next fiscal year by matching a percentage of employee contributions. We were able to celebrate our accomplishments together on Labor Day this year. We closed the store early, so thank you all for your patience as we did that. We hosted the first staff party in a long, long time, and it's a tradition that we do hope to continue. Our staff have really stepped up in the face of challenging circumstances, and we've been able to promote many of them into leadership roles. Two folks that I'd like to highlight today are Matt and Dylan R. They are our store supervisors, and they're committed to the smooth operations of the entire store, assisting all departments as needed. They maintain our building and conduct repairs to ensure the safety of our staff and customers, and they've been working with purpose to help support our financial health. I'm sure you've seen them around the store. They're here early in the morning and late at night, and they are true superstars for our organization. With grace and resiliency, our management team have embraced all of the changes during this past year, from the shift in my role and the appointing of a new board president, to the looming expansion projects and our organizational restructure. All this while recovering from the ongoing effects of the pandemic. Without these adaptable and visionary individuals, we would never accomplish the things that we do. So I want to call them all out today. Brandon, our finance manager in the back. Deborah, our marketing manager and one of the creative minds behind today. Mark, our produce manager. David is our center store manager. He's been with the co-op for 12 years now, right? We just 12-year anniversary. Alan, our fresh foods manager. Kelly, our front end or customer service manager. Janelle, our human resources manager. And Brian, who is our meat, seafood, and specialty manager. He could not be here today, but we'll applaud him anyway. You know, we, the management team, are a team of true professionals. We're unified and cohesive with authentic, caring, and commitment to our work, to one another, and to this place. We act with integrity and equitability, and we do what's right for all stakeholders. We have been refocusing on our core values as the main drivers in our decision-making, both significant and small. This includes transparency and team involvement in operational direction, better incorporation of input from our owners and customers, greater outreach and partnerships with local businesses, such as our recent job fair. And we've been collaborating with other co-ops and furthering our use of NCG resources and attendance at key conferences. I've been strengthening my own peer network, furthering our relationship with the town, and I've been newly appointed as a board member of the Chamber of Commerce. We've been hard at work to establish new initiatives, streamline processes, and have been brainstorming ways to improve our cash flow. Brandon will talk a little bit more about that later. We are poised to make even more informed business projections, as Bill Tynan, also a long-time staff member, has been recently designated as our business analyst. He has been diligently collecting and compiling data for our managers and buyers, and conducting competitive analyses of our area competition. And in fact, he put together a few little numbers that I thought were interesting for today. So We have this resource called SPINS. I'm not entirely sure what the acronym stands for, but it collects data from the nation, and you can pinpoint by region, by type of store, and so he's been really digging into that to give us sort of a better look of where we stand. And our co-op, and these are specific departments that are outperforming Northeast regional natural food stores. Our vitamins and supplements department has been outperforming by 9.4% versus the Northeast region at 8.7. Our produce department is at 8% growth versus 3.6 in the Northeast. Yeah. Our body care has seen an increase of 5.3% versus 4.6 regionally. Our general merchandise section is up 3.4% versus 2.7, and our beer and wine is up slightly at 1.7% versus 1.3. Yeah. So, as you just heard, produce is one of our highest growing categories. I attribute a lot of that to Mark's work and that of his team. So thank you, Mark. You set the standard for the store. Comparison to a year ago, our produce department is up by 8.1% units, or by 8.9% in dollar. And that's versus the region, which is only up 1.6% in units and 5.1% in dollars. Our top 5 selling items are in produce. 3 of the top 10 items are local. And then just a couple other neat facts. New products introduced from this time last year. We've introduced 4,000 new products for a total revenue of $905,000. And just in the past week, we've introduced 270 new products. And I think a lot of those are in the center store category. So David, thank you for all your hard work as well, because he keeps all of us reminded as to what we're doing this summer. Let me just find where I left off here, which was with Bill. Okay, soon we're going to be reinstituting open book management meetings, which was a thing of the past at the co-op. And we hope that this will cultivate a deeper understanding of the business and increase employee engagement. We've been increasing our focus on sustainability efforts throughout the store, such as lowering our supply costs, limiting dependence on paper bags, and evaluating our energy consumption. Reducing plastics in the store is a constant endeavor, whether it's in our container options, and we've got some new hot cold cups coming for the cafe soon. And our buyers have been vetting brands that opt for alternative packaging materials. Our objective is to develop a sustainability committee so that we may further innovate and drive change. I'll move on to a little bit of our expansion planning. So expansion planning and build out of the second floor suites is progressing. It's perhaps a little slower than we anticipated, but we're being very conscientious of the how and why, and with sensitivity to our financial responsibilities. We have an expansion committee, which is made up of key staff, board members, and community partners to be sure that we are serving the many needs and desires of our area. This is especially true as we develop the community room. The overall project will be completed in phases, the retail space being our first priority, as this will quickly generate revenue to help fund other aspects of the project. We have received a bid from a local contractor, and we expect construction in the retail space to begin soon. Since we will not be ready to open for the holiday shopping season, we are discussing a pop-up shop to build excitement and to capture some sales with the unique selection of housewares, home goods, and gift items that we will be showcasing. Primarily, our product selection will be made up of sustainably produced items, and hopefully mostly from local or regional makers and distributors, and importantly, affordable. The details of the community room are still being reviewed, but for certain, there will be a demo kitchen, a conference room, and multi-use space for any type of event or gathering. There are already talks about food access programs and culinary educational series that local organizations are hoping to initiate in that space, as well as a long list of other businesses and nonprofits who have interest in utilizing that space. We're excited for this opportunity to expand the co-op's outreach, solidify our position as an important local resource, and to use our status as the largest employer in downtown Great Barrington to nurture the social and economic health of our community. Yeah. I would like to close today by offering my sincerest thanks to our board of directors, from whom I have tremendous support, and to all of you for your faith in me and our extraordinary staff. I feel as though I've been on this journey to the place I'm in for quite some time, and I'm really excited for our future. We've only just begun our important work together, and I truly look forward to you all sharing in and contributing to the transformational growth and evolution of our collective business and to the continued success and well-being of the co-op. Thank you all today for being here. Sorry, I need to introduce Brandon, our finance manager, and he has a really fun financial presentation for you today. So welcome, Brandon.
All right, hello everyone. It's good to see everyone. It's a beautiful day. So it's been 2 years since I have joined the co-op. I continue to learn so much. Can you hear me anyway?
Closer.
Okay, I continue to learn so much about the grocery industry as well as the cooperative business structure. The financial history of this place illustrates that it's never been easy here, pretty much ever.
Brandon, come
each day
closer.
still presents.
Closer
to the mic. Just like
Own it.
hug the mic.
Hug it, Brandon.
I don't want to feedback.
Yeah. Hug it a little closer.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
There we go. You're a tall guy.
Should I restart or?
No, I think you should because there are people that didn't hear. So.
Okay. So, anyways, the financial history illustrates that it's never been easy here. But the fact that we're also here with hope for a bright future is a testament to the fortitude of the founders and the many skilled coworkers who have carried the work, and our owners who have steadfastly supported the Berkshire Food Co-op throughout the years. Just as from our NCG Trends Report, a bit of an industry overview, obviously we have all faced COVID lingering, rising costs, out of stocks, e-commerce, increased competition from e-commerce, and increased price sensitivity. The consumer price index for food rose 7% in the last year. And as everyone has alluded to, our theme for the year has been sorry about it's a bit of a rough transition that we've had. But we've met each day with the enthusiasm of a chocolate Webb. Alright, now still. And even when we think we have it, it's still a little blurry. So our transition of leadership into a new normal for the world, economic transition, and even what I think is a new brand life cycle, has led to financial results such as sales growth plateau, compressed profit margins, employee turnover, and increased operating expense. So our revenue did grow by about 2% to 13.5 million. Our gross margin actually decreased by 6% in the percentage, by about to almost 5 million. Last year we enjoyed 39% margins. Our sales SG&A expenses increased by 12% this year, from 4.7 million to about 5.3. As we've kind of all spoken about, much of this was due to increased labor costs, rent, utilities, supplies, janitorial costs, and also discounts. We did end with a net income of about 103,000. Which is down from 746,000 from the prior year. Both years were aided by CARES Act tax credit funds, and I believe that this will actually come up a little bit because there's another quarter's worth of credit that I'm still working on getting for us. So another way to measure profitability is EBITDA. That I kind of wanted us all to get used to hearing, and it's the earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization, and it provides a better way to compare us with other co-ops by taking out financing, government, and accounting decisions. And by comparison, we actually fell behind to about 4% compared to more like 5% of other co-ops. Our owner's equity increased by about 8%, which is healthy. And however, our cash balance did decrease by about 28%. And just for a comparison with our budget, for sales, we were right on target, 13.5 million. Our costs and our profit margin did decrease. We were somewhere kind of in between single store co-ops and large store co-ops, which is kind of an interesting story about where we are. We're still a single store, but we kind of still have to operate more like, we're growing. We're a hard puzzle to figure out. Our SG&A expense did kind of get out of hand up to 39%, which if we could probably still end up somewhere in between there. SG&A is selling, general, and administrative expenses. Basically everything that's not cost of goods sold. And there you can see our EBITDA is still like 500,000, which is pretty decent. However, the difference in our budget, what I had forecasted a year ago, is really in our margins.
Are you taking questions now or at the end?
You can wait till the end. So, looking ahead, again referring to our NCG trends report, the shopping habits are evolving. It's been mentioned that shoppers still enjoy shopping for food. Younger consumers consider grocery shopping to be a labor of love still. And then maintaining shopping's relevance as a leisure activity will engage more shoppers. Some of the things, like shoppers' concerns, are evolving into being more concerned for workers and community, support for farmers, concern for diversity, food insecurity, sustainability, and packaging. which are all things that we do here. We're like there's increasing demand for the things that we do well. Our strengths, by relying on our strengths, I believe that there's still market share for us to capture. And by implementing the open book management, I think we can lower our cost of goods sold. By focusing on sustainability efforts, we can reduce our SG&A expenses down to like 37% versus 39%. And we set ourselves up for a much better year to come. And I believe that the open book management will be a huge win because any single point of extra margin contributes an extra $130,000 that we can use to be more of a community force. So I realize that the budget is very ambitious and it depends on some factors that are out of our control. However, our team is ambitious and we have the skill to achieve our goals. And so far we're on track for the first quarter. And I'll just close with a let's go do it. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer. Sure.
Yeah, so if you don't mind just repeating my question for the mic, but
Sure.
my question is, you mentioned that like we're a single store, but then we kind of have to operate like a large multi-store national chain. So could you kind of speak to what's kind of causing that dichotomy, and specifically like is it the geographic location?
Well,
like
specifically, I would say we spent the first half. The question is, we operate like what created us to operate like a large co-op, and I would say directly it was we spent the first half of the year still trying to build a second store in Pittsfield.
Oh.
So we kind of scaled up for a second store, and then it's not going to happen. So we kind of now we're going back to just expanding at our current location here, and I think that will be a much more financially, I guess, sustainable way to do it. And especially now, the thought of building a second store in this current climate with rising interest rates, like that would have been a huge mistake, I think. Yes.
Mark Cohen. I have a two-part question.
Okay.
The first question is, what was the cash balance for the co-op in the last fiscal statement? That's the first one.
Last fiscal, like the last quarter.
The last fiscal statement you have, what was the cash balance?
It would have been. So it would have been the as of June 30th, and it would have been the $740,000.
And I'm aware that in 2023, that a lot of the loans that were given to the co-op about 5 years ago are due.
Yes.
So it sounds like there's enough in the cash balance to easily meet the repayment of those loans that are due in 2023.
2023. So we did have to restructure some of the ones that were due in 2022 due to just to maintain working capital. And but I mean, yeah, the goal is to be able to do right by all of our owners, and that's the expansion of the key departments will increase our profit percentage and make it easier to do that. It is going to be a challenge, yes.
So you seem to be inferring that there might possibly be a need to restructure some of those loans that are due in 2023.
I haven't. Yeah, there might be. Yes.
How many new owners do we have, or what's the total now of the co-op owners, do you know?
I don't remember the exact number. I believe it's like 5,500. Is it?
It's close to that, yeah.
5,500.
Yep,
5,500?
Yes.
it's close. Yeah, we passed 5,000 in April, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
In the 23 budget, you see, you mentioned about reducing your cost of goods sold,
Yes.
which is going to run counter to national trends, with that these cost of goods in general are going up. You mentioned some technique that you were going to use to counter that trend. I didn't quite
Yes.
understand what.
So, good question. We mentioned open book management, and
Yeah.
what that is, each week we're going to forecast ahead of time so our purchases match what we're going to sell. A lot of our increase in cost of goods sold were due to things that didn't sell, which would kind of increase our food waste, and that's not really what we're about. It's just kind of keeping up with just trying to get stuff on the shelf was such a challenge that it kind of got away with it from us, but we're now in a place where we can address things.
Is this similar to just-in-time?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and then just the open book means that we're all going to sit together and go over it in each department, and so that there's no, I guess, confidentiality or secrets or anything. So it's a team effort.
Thank you.
Yeah. Again, the question was about exactly how the open book management and what it is and how it works.
A question about the merchandising you're going to be adding with the expansion.
Yeah.
Is that anticipated to be as profitable, less profitable? How does that affect the ability?
Good question. So the question is on the general merchandise expansion and how its profitability will relate to grocery. So first of all, that product doesn't expire, and the margins are quite a little higher in that category than groceries, and the overhead to run the retail space is very low in relation to what I think our sales could end up being from that category. So does that answer your question? Any other questions? Okay, well, enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, Jessica and Brandon. We have a little bit more to go. I know we've got some soft serve going, but we encourage you to stay. We've got some really wonderful things ahead. We promise we won't hold you for very long. The next part is going to be quick, but it's important. You're here because you're an owner and you have a right to exercise your vote for our board. And give us a shout for those who you would like to be a part of it, to be your voice. And also, all of you are familiar by now with Roundup for Change. There's such support for our community nonprofit organizations, and there's such a pride in how much has been given back. And you get to choose out of a list of those organizations as to the next year's 12 organizations that we will be supporting. And so we ask you to vote, but before you do, we'd like, if you voted already, thank you, and if you haven't, you can vote here today. But we would like to introduce you, Mickey Kameyer, who is a current board member who couldn't be here because he's not well today, is a wonderful board member, and we were glad to hear that he was willing to step up again. But we have two of our candidates. We have 3 seats open and 3 candidates. And I'd like to first introduce Steve Browning to just tell you a little bit about why he's running and what he has to offer.
Thank you. It's been a long time since I did public speaking, so bear with me. I'm Steve Browning, running for one of the seats on the co-op board. I've been a chef for the past, I've been a chef for the past 17 years and worked in the food industry for 27 years. For most of my career, the main priority of the restaurants I work within is using local foods and being a restaurant for the local community. So recently I left my job as a chef and I've started my own business, and I felt very supported by the same community of people, the farms I've established relationships with, and the customers that I've served for so many years. The local food community has shown me support in many ways. And this community of people has always been hand in hand with the community of people at the co-op. People that sell at the co-op, shop at the co-op, work at the co-op. And as a customer, I'd love to be able to go to a place where I can buy most of the foods from the farmers that I have these relationships with. And it's a hub where I can run into friends from the community on a daily basis, meet up and have conversations, or just say hello. I appreciate that the co-op has all the things I'd want to buy on the shelves without all the things I would never want to buy that fills up most grocery stores. And I truly appreciate the buying club for being able to bulk buy awesome products from my house at business that I would have no access to unless I was running a restaurant or a like business. When I leave the town is when I notice how much I truly miss the co-op. When I'm struggling to find a health food store or a Whole Foods that may have some of my daily life necessities. It is easy to take a co-op or the region we live in for granted because how abundant good food decisions can be made in this area. And the co-op definitely facilitates that everyday need for me. And I've always wanted to serve on the board and learn more about how I can be a part of what makes the co-op such a wonderful place and help it to continue to be that. Now that I've left the crazy hours of the restaurant industry, I'm looking forward to being a more active member of the local food community and being involved in places that I love, like the co-op, and help. And I want to be involved with the co-op and help the co-op and its members any way I can, and hopefully bring a different perspective to the board. And that's
Thank you so much, Steve. Next, I'd like to bring up Dennis Iodice to tell you a little bit about himself. Dennis?
Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm not as prepared as Steve was over there, but I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Dennis Iodice. I moved to Great Barrington about 5 years ago from Oakland, Northern California. I have a wife and a son who also live here in the community with me, of course. And when we moved here, we chose to come here partly because the co-op was here. It was really important for us to have that resource, to have a place that we could go to and know that the food that was sourced for us to purchase was vetted, that all of the things that were incorporated in the co-op, that people wanted to be there. It was just a great working environment, and which has become better and better every single day. I wanted to give back to the community a little bit more, which is the reason I was running for a board seat. I've also got a little bit more time on my plate, with my son getting older, and it's important to me to kind of be part of that cooperative movement and where the food is coming from and who has access to the food and how they have access to the food is super important to me as well. Really my hope is to ensure the success of the co-op and help however I can in getting us to the point where we need to go. Keeping up with what we've been doing, again, making food accessible and available to people, especially those that have been marginalized. And it's my hope to continuously learn about the cooperative procedures, about the staff, about the members, to see what I can do to bring what we need, what we all need in the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you both for jumping in. We are very excited and think we have an amazing year ahead. I realize maybe I don't need introduction, but I am so sorry I forgot my button. I'm Phyllis Webb, for those of you who don't know us. I failed to tell you that. In any case, we're to another part that's very exciting. As you heard with Jessica and our board, we are really excited about partnering more with our local community and our local businesses. And so today you have been eating the food of ExtraSpecialTeas. And you'll have a treat in your gift bags from them, a signature tea that was developed just for us. And we brought them here. They've been really excited to just tell you a little bit about the inspiring story that brought us Extra Specialties to our community. And I'd like to also give a shout out to Supreme Soft Serve, your dessert for the afternoon. Again, another local business who has made a signature soft serve flavor for us just for you today. So enjoy that, but I really want you to listen. Hannah Stanyon is a tea master who's learned through her efforts and wearing many, many hats at Extra Specialties, and would like to tell you a little bit about that, and I think it's really interesting. And then she will be followed up by Cherri, who is the CEO and mastermind of a wonderful, wonderful business in our town that, in fact, we like it so much that it was our anniversary Thursday morning. We were there for breakfast. So, Hannah Stanyon.
All right, let's see if we can make this work. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so my name is Hannah. I work in our Housatonic location. I'm the master tea blender. It's a great, like, orange and teal building right in the middle of Housatonic. And if you walk in the door, you'll immediately see a window at the back. That is my tea lab. That's where I go and blend teas with our extra special participants. They're people with special needs. That's what UST is all about. We enjoy fostering a sense of community for them and a sense of purpose. So what we do in the tea lab is that we blend teas. We experiment with teas all the time, every day. It could be any type of tea. It could be a green tea, a black tea, a rooibos, or it could be a more not so traditional tea, like, let's see, a cherry tea, or a chocolate tea, or we do so much in there, and we have a lot of fun. We package tea, we make a lot of jokes about tea. It's incredibly fun. But we've got 5 signature teas that we have. Our main one is Blue Skies. It's called it's blue because it brews blue for autism awareness. And it's made out of blue butterfly pea flowers, which is a natural ingredient. But it's beautifully blue, almost like pool blue. But here is Cherri. She's here to talk more about what we do.
Hi, I'm Cherri Sains, and I started Extra Specialties about a little over 6 years ago. And I really am so grateful to the co-op for inviting us, for having this beautiful luncheon, and let us providing the food from our new restaurant over in Housatonic. And also letting us make the tea samples and letting us make a co-op blend that I know Hannah's done a fantastic job on. So I can't wait for you guys to go home and try it. And also, I'm also grateful that the co-op had this amazing job fair a few weeks ago. We were really in need of employees, and I was able to hire 2 employees because of the job fair. So thank you for that. So I thought I would share a little bit of my journey. If you detect an accent, I'm from Texas. I haven't lost it, even though I've been here about 22 years. My son Jake has autism, and we came here back in 1995 to the Option Institute, and began our journey with Jake in a home-based program called the Sunrise Program that is based here in Sheffield. We absolutely fell in love with the area. Every time we came back here to do an intensive with Jake, it just felt like home. So in 1999, my husband left a very successful law practice, and we left amazing volunteers that had worked in the Sunrise Program with Jake in Houston, and sold our cars, bought some land up here, and moved to the Berkshires. And we kind of got on the plane and thought, oh boy, what are we doing? And have never looked back. absolutely love being here in the Berkshires, and what an amazing time of year it is here. Then my son, we did do the home-based program for many years, and then he went to Mount Everett in Sheffield for the life skills program. But around the time that Jake turned 21, we started thinking, well, what's going to be next for Jake? Well, what's he going to do in the community? And I started looking into other programs, and I really didn't find anything that I felt really fit for Jake and how I wanted to see him have purpose in his life. So I decided I had to take my matters into my own hands, and I opened a tea house. I looked around Great Barrington and tried to see, like, okay, what business do we not have around here? And a tea house seemed to really fit the vibe that I wanted and the type of community that I wanted to create for Jake. So we started, we're a nonprofit. We fundraised for 3 years. We fundraised in for every penny that we started ExtraSpecialTeas with. And so grateful to friends and family who helped us with that. In April 2016, on World Autism Awareness Day, we opened ExtraSpecialTeas, and that was a little over 6 years ago. We started with Jake and 2 other people, and I had 3 staff. And you know, it was important that the world and the community embraced Jake and all of the other people that worked with ExtraSpecialTeas that had learning differences. We believed then and now that every differently abled person has something to offer the community, deserves a part in the community, and everyone needs to know that they have value and a place in the community. So that's how we started ExtraSpecialTeas, of believing that everyone could do something in the tea house. Some of our people work on the tea floor. We do lots of behind-the-scene things that I'll talk about in a minute. But you'll see some of our people working on the tea floor, but there is a lot of things going on. We've been at 2 Elm Street here in Great Barrington for, like I said, for over 6 years. We made it through the pandemic by having virtual classes, by Zoom classes for our guys, 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. Anna was a big part of that. And in fact, that's the silver lining of that is that's where the idea for our tea lab developed. We started thinking about what other people that did tea labs had, what ingredients they needed, and we started filing grants and looking into all different ways of what we needed to make our own tea lab. And like Hannah said, we just have it. It's just the crown jewel of our place in Housatonic now, of our tea lab. But that being said, we did get through the pandemic, but we ran out of room at our cute little Victorian house here in Great Barrington. We still love it. We'll always have that. As someone said, that's our flagship. And we'll always have 2 Elm Street. But we found a wonderful space over in Housatonic at the old Hoosie Market. Some of you may be familiar with that. And we have some pretty big shoes to fill there because I think they did a beautiful job. Many people in the community really love the food from there. But we've opened our own restaurant over there because we now have our own commercial kitchen. We serve breakfast, lunch, and afternoon tea. Anybody looking for like the English style of afternoon tea with little tea sandwiches and like a big pitcher of tea and everything, we do that from 2 to 4 over in Housatonic. We start serving breakfast at 8. We have been able to now increase we have 30 participants that are differently able that work at ExtraSpecialTeas. Everyone makes at least minimum wage there. They're paid for their wages and for their time and all of their efforts. We're really off to the races over there. We have our own commercial kitchen. We have we're wholesaling our gluten-free products. We've only done gluten-free since we opened. We have 13 staff. And but then what else do? We have There's so many behind the scene things that I just talked about. We have a community-based day program for people who might not be able to work on the tea floor. They're learning social skills, vocational skills, making products. We have 92 products that are made, like candles and soaps and the gluten-free products I just spoke about. And one of our biggest sellers are the tea bones, which are tea-infused dog treats. And so we have a little bag over there so that you can kind of see what those are. Hannah said we've got 5 of our own signature teas. We also have, we have been voted one of the best bubble tea places in the state of Massachusetts. And that is up against big chain places in Boston. We were like number 3 under 2 big chain places in Boston. So we've been like super excited about that. Bubble tea too is one of our big sellers. We do a lot of community outings. We do community volunteering. Anyone looking for community volunteers, talk to us. We're always looking for ways to engage our guys, make them part of the community. We have art therapy. We have an art therapist on staff. We volunteered at places like the food pantry and Gideon's Garden. We do gardening. We have, I think, one of the most beautiful gardens of any restaurant downtown. We have a nice little courtyard that is surrounded by Berkshire Bank here at 2 Elm Street. And then we just have completed a gorgeous outdoor seating area over in Housatonic. They also like stamp all of our paper goods. So we're always looking for jobs for our guys to do. That being said, we've been able to accomplish a lot. But I think the big thing that we take home every day is just like the purpose and possibility that our guys get from just coming to ExtraSpecialTeas. We're like a family. We create community for them. And so many of our people haven't had that in their lives. So that's where you come in as customers. You know, it just brightens their day when they can serve a customer. It puts a smile on their face. When they all have goals, and when they reach their goals and we find a new goal. The most amazing thing about working in there is just the smile on their face that we see when they accomplish their goals. We say we brew belonging there at ExtraSpecialTeas, and we would really love to see our products here at the tea house. I mean, here at the co-op too. We do as many locally sourced items as we can in all of our products. We're very, very attuned to food allergies and food dyes and all the different things that making our products be, you know, as nutritious as possible. Thank you so much for letting us come and
Thank you so much, Hannah and Cherri. You do an amazing job, and we salute you. I guess at this point, before we wrap up, I know we had a Q&A with Brandon. Are there any things on your mind? On the tables, we left pens and paper for doodling or for suggestions, for conversation, for ideas, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want to hear from you. We're going to take any notes that you leave behind and look at them both from a manager's point of view as well as a board point of view. Because you are our owners, we want you to be heard, and we want to do our best to carry forth some of what's on your mind. Any questions that come to mind before we wrap up? Yes?
I want to give a shout out to Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy! Oh, Jeremy! We all love Jeremy. Jeremy not only is amazing on the staff here at the co-op, but he has embraced Berkshares, which is our local currency, which you can spend, and you now can download an app, and it's digital Berkshares, and the co-op has embraced it. Jeremy just charged through with it, and it feels really good to spend local currency here at the co-op every time you shop. So something to know about. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay.
I wanted to just say something, like
Sure.
a shout out to all of you. My husband and I moved here a year and a half ago, almost 2 now, and the Berkshire Co-op has felt very much like a home for us as we've like made this community our new home. And this is our first time attending this meeting in person, and this for me felt like a like surreal exercise in democracy. This is like the first time I've been exposed to anything like this. I mean, I know about co-ops, right? But like being inside, I think is a whole different experience. And I just wanted to say thank you. So proud to like be a part of this community.
Thank you. And I hope you all feel that way. It is pretty special, even those of you who started this way back when, 41 years ago, right? 1981. So again, thank you all for taking this time. I think I can speak on behalf of Jessica, her management team, our board of directors. Please reach out to us. We're in this together, we're a team, and we want to have inclusion for everybody. So please let us know what's on your mind. You have invested in this incredible small local business. To achieve success, we must keep coming together as a community. Or, as Henry Ford once said, coming together is just the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Please be sure to vote and enjoy the rest of your weekend, but I think Jessica has more to say.
Just one final thing I want to say. You know, the last 7 months I've been really trying to feel my way through the job, learn what it actually entails day to day. So I know I've been spending a lot of time in the back. A lot of you probably haven't seen me out on the sales floor, which I miss terribly because, I mean, I came from the bottom. You know, I started my journey at Guido's and came to the co-op, and, you know, I've worked my way up here. And so I just want to say, you know, I'm trying to, now that I feel like I have a little bit better of a handle on the day-to-day and sort of the bigger picture things, I'm aiming to spend more time out on the sales floor and really engaging with the staff and all of you. So, you know, and if you don't see me, just feel free to ask. I'm always happy to come out and have a chat, and if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can call me, you can take my business card, you can send me an email. I mean, I really do want to be more engaged with all of you, so please don't hesitate. I'm always here, so thank you. Thanks again.
And I promise, there's more, but this is it. So, Trish Mead, please come up. You have served us well. We are going to absolutely miss you, and we want you to take home a little something so that you think of us. No, we'll get you back. Thank you, Trish. And Robin, I would like you to come up here. You are my hero. Take home something that you will think of us, because I know I pester you all the time, but now this will really be in your face. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you do. Enjoy your afternoon.
Voting over here.
Oh, voting! And ice cream over there.
Thank you, everyone. Before you leave, please make sure you vote or come see us via single file line to get your to-go bag. Thank you.